Now, this great venue has hosted some memorable playoff games over the years, and these Bear fans are hoping to make some new memories today at Soldier Field in Chicago. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Mike, check.
Throwing on second and long. Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Well, certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14.
Alert 3. Alert 3. Watch the safety creep.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Caught by Jones. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bears take over. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Lock in. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike. So don't say nothing. Check 52's the Mike. Alert. 52's the Mike. 80 weapons. Safe.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Double tight. Hey. You got lock in. 3 down. Jim, X3. 218, chop it. Switch. Shift. Watch the shift. Ran, touch.
Here's Trubisky. An Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 54 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, we knew they had the crowd on their side. Their defense has already made a stop, but now here's an opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, how about the defense making the stop, offense feeling their momentum that they've generated, and turning it into points on their side. So now you've got a team working together, and you get the crowd involved fully on their side in this ball game.
And in this playoff atmosphere, that 12th man means even more.
Go!
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So the face mask certainly helps things as they'll start up past the 30 on first down.
Check.
Protein spill.
Switch.
Hey, ball. Go.
Now Trubisky to throw. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Mike, 180. He's coming. I'm coming. Check 37.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Quick throw here caught by Gabriel. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Check, crunch.
General West.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 24-yard touchdown as the Bears push further out in front. The extra point up and good. And it's now 14-0.
Makes the score Bears 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run. Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
You got nothing. Hey, check 24. Check nickel. Hey.
Here's Anderson. Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
50-50.
Check 59, Mike.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Khalil Mack picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
59, Mike. Check 59.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Now Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before. Now the ball comes loose. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Strong right. Strong right. Out. Alert.
On second and very short, Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. Mike, alert. Watch the coverage.
From just shy of midfield, Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Brandon Marshall came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
Army. Quick dance. Go. Land up. Check. No. Hey, alert.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down.
Check 26. Alert. Red up. Check 26.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Here we go.
Following the penalty, Anderson. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Bart, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, That's a big day.
The Lions on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. They'll start with Hunt on the ground, and that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 18-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Make these babies cry all the way back home.
Right there. 54, right there.
Trubisky will throw. That one is caught by Hunt. Dancing away at the 30. And all the way down to the 39. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3. Back, ran, up. He's checking. Crash. Motion. Hey, check motion man. Put your hands. Ran, up. Motion man. Mike 40.
Here's Trubisky to throw. He finds Robinson. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Trubisky now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Now it's Hunt. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Tighten up. Pull it together. Check 3.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. The kick by Pinheiro is good. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked out since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, a trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway.
Where's 180? 52's the mic. Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. 52. Hey, orbit. 52's the mic. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up. Red, up. 52. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Watch the screen. Watch the edge.
On first down, Hunt. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Right. He's tight. 18. 4 down.
From the 27, Trubisky. He's got the hook up to Miller. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 13-yard line.
Bears, first down. First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
180. Tackles. Mike 40. Check. He's coming. Let's go. Hey.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. From 13 yards out as the Bears push further out in front. The extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Hey, high 7.
On second and 7, Stafford. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to air one out, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll toss it to Hunt. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
On third down, Trubisky. This is caught by Robinson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel